Doubles and coffee. P&M hard luck. I changed my mind. As I come out the gym and I flick on my phone, I see Stuart Richard Young send out a Christmas message. Me know as what? Whether the leader, the P&M, me ain't see nothing from Penny. Maybe she sent it out, but it just do go viral. But Stuart Richard Young message, Christmas message to the nation. Be your brother and sister's keeper. Well, Stuart Richard Young, you know about that. I can tell you. You're an expert in that. Because since you saw him to be Rowley K-Pax Liquor in September 2015, your brother and your family and your father and your entire clan benefited from your ascension to government executive office. Your brother's company that he was the CEO of had zero public sector work when you saw him on the Bible to be such a servant of the people. And within the first 5 years, his company had received over 4.2 billion TT dollars of work from the P&M government of Trinidad and Tobago. So you are your brother's keeper. The first tranche of loans that he got was when UDCOT moved from under the Ministry of Housing to under the OPM, where you and Rowley were. You were a minister in the office of the Prime Minister, and then he went on to all sorts of largesse. You, Stuart Richard Young, you are your family's keeper, your brother's keeper, your people's keeper, because you have the world record with Faris Al-Rawi, a tight pants, a hug up man in a gym and take picture with over 100 recusals. Meaning that over 100 cabinet decisions of the government, decisions of the executive that are intended to help those most in need first. You recuse yourself over 100 times because people close to you were benefiting from decisions being taken by the P&M. So yes, Stuart Richard Young, you are your brother's keeper. You are even your old daddy's keeper. Because when the Economic Development Board collapsed in 2018, in January, when Dr. Terence Farrell, who still remains a P&M sycophant, resigned because Rowley wasn't listening to any intelligent advice, and the Economic Development Board collapsed, your government, of which you were the star boy, gave Richard Young to be in charge of whatever you all call that committee to discuss and analyze and bring investment into Trinidad and Tobago. Now, you all just suck so bad that here bring no investment, and foreign direct investment went in the opposite direction. But you also took your daddy, your government took your daddy and put him in charge of the International Financial Center and gave him $15 million per year for at least 8 years. That is over $100 million and nothing reached, not an investment, not a financial center, nothing, except that your brother's company that he works for as CEO, they got a banking license, a merchant bank and so on. So yes, Stuart Richard Young, you are your brother's keeper. Let me tell you something, you such a good brother, a good brethren. You take your partner Sanka wife, went in the house by she, leave your pregnant wife and take care of them children for 10 years. But you forgot to be your stepdaughter's keeper. Because when your stepdaughter made a mistake, you spit you out like a sour doubles. Spit you out quick in public and say that is not your child. So nobody needs your advice on what to do about brother and sister and family and so on. But you have benefited. Your family has benefited tremendously, Stuart Richard Young. You were not your brother's keeper when you went to Houston and removed Jerry Brooks and all the NGC officials, and you and Rowley went and completed negotiations that wrecked the gas sector and the energy sector of Trinidad and Tobago and created a foreign exchange crisis, and 6,000 SMEs closed down. You wasn't studying to be a brothers and sisters keeper there. When you was a failed Minister of National Security 2018 and 2019, when you got silver and bronze medal for the most murders, the only behind Martin Joseph of 2008 with 519 and 539 murders. You were not your brother's keeper. Your brothers and them was dead in at highest rate, blood flowing in the street. Stuart Richard Young, you are telling us to be our brother's keeper. You was our brother's keeper when you was bullying Imran for 5 years straight in St. Mary's College. Your nastiness. I wish I was there for you to try to bully me. On the very first day, that bullying would have stopped. You big dotish clown. You telling people about brother's keeper. You, cause your whole party, your whole PNM, all your brothers and sisters to get the biggest curtail in history of electoral politics. If it wasn't for Michaela Pandey, it would be 31 seats. 31. Understand that? That is a catastrophe of untold, unprecedented proportions. All your PNM brothers and sisters, they're so disappointed. They're suffering. They're in pain. They're confused because of you, Stuart Richard Young, your big clown. But anyway, maybe in this Christmas season, you'll keep on slapping love on Asha Javid, you know, all that love you. You hit her with that love. You hit her with that love stick, eh? And Stuart Richard Young, how that going? You want to tell the nation anything? Or you want the Douglas to let it out in the new year, 2026? So Stuart Richard Young, keep your advice to yourself. You elitist dunce. You dotish, arrogant imbecile. Nobody cares. And look at you. The PNM was getting a respite today. Doubles and Coffee went in a positive way to talk about the beautiful, brilliant, tasty, delicious food cooked by Jolene John's mom that David Nackett and I stormed, and we went and eat and enjoyed ourselves. And Jolene come out in she pajamas and put out food. Imagine the Minister of Works and Infrastructure putting out food for the Douglas and David Nackett. And we had such a great time with our families. And today I said, before this video, that I was giving the PNM a rest for today. But you, thanks to you, Stuart Richard Young, the PNM get this. And that's what the PNM is going to get from now till 2040, 2045. Because of you, the man who get to be Prime Minister, selected by Rowley, no democratic process, thwarting the PNM Constitution and leading the PNM to the greatest defeat in its history, Stuart Richard Young. So you didn't even take care of your PNM brothers and sisters. So give the nation a rest. We're not interested in what you have to say, your elitist accent West Boy clown. To the rest of Trinidad and Tobago, bless. To the PNM, sorry boy, it's Stuart Richard Young. Make all your get this today. Bless.